I would like to start by saying that this video is strictly about how the game is on Steam as of October 2025. Released on Steam on February 23rd in 2024 by Planet Gem, which is, as far as I know, a one-man team. It has accrued over 20,000 reviews, of which 95% are positive. The story. When standing in your buddy's garage, your buddy JB gives you a call. He's happy you made it to Japan. Sadly, you cannot drive any of his cars, as he sold them all. Luckily, he left some cash in a shoebox for you, with which you can buy a used car at the auction. You get a small gift of almost 900,000 yen, and with the game being set between 1990 and 2009, this is between 6,000 or 9,000 USD. Here is an immaculate graph. I use the site FXtop for the conversions, a site made in 2001, and since then never got a user interface update. There's a wide array of cars to choose from, either manual or automatic. Some have baggage, with one car missing the key and thus needs to be started with a screwdriver. I must say, I don't know what effects this has on the gameplay. I chose for an automatic version, and of course immediately performing an oil change after purchasing. There are a lot of upgradable parts, but it comes down to standard, better, best. The car's body customizable options are vast. I think it's impossible to not create a cool car. After leaving the garage, I was met with a phone call. Apparently, the caller and I both know a guy who happens to have unpaid debts to his organization. Mr. Mysterious is suspicious as I, as the bum I am, leave my mate's garage with a cool whip. Mr. Mysterious tasks me with repaying my friend's debt by putting me in debt by giving me a loan I can only use for bets of 5 million yen. There are two types of money in this game. Your own money. When winning races, you win prize money. Roughly 1/3 of this money goes to yourself. With this money, you can purchase new cars and upgrade them. Debt. This will be automatically paid off after winning races, but losing races means that debt will increase again. When you have no more money of your own left, but you get a speeding ticket after going through a toll booth, or you need to refuel, the amount paid will be added to your debt. Types of races. In the prologue, racing against computer opponents is only available at this one place. Scattered throughout the map are also time trials and toll booths. Time trial is pretty self-explanatory. The toll booths are somewhat unique. If you go through them at a low speed, you will pay a small fee. With a high speed, you will have to pay a big fine. There's also a mechanic by which if you manage to set a record, something happens. I honestly don't know what, as it is not explained. Now for the actual races. The drag race, which is a best of 3. Before the race, you have to warm up your tires. At a high temperature, it will give a small grip bonus. I like the drag races because they're over pretty fast, so you can farm easy. A funny thing about all the races is that you have to flicker your lights in order to start them. Sprint race. This is where I have the most criticism. The route markings are terrible. There are signs at the junctions, but they're far too small to see far in advance. It's also possible to take the wrong turn. Once I realized that, I didn't even try to win the race. Luckily, I had an under-the-table deal to lose the race. But isn't there a minimap? Yes, but you have to manually turn it on for each race. There's also a vertical light that guides you somewhat. It's blue to indicate you're heading the right way and the red to signal the finish line. Furthermore, the roads are quite narrow, usually only 2 lanes wide, and there are those narrow Japanese roads. There's also some traffic, consisting half of cars and the other half is trucks. In an encounter with each of those vehicles, you're forced to move into the other lane to pass them. For example, if they're on the left lane, you have to pass them on the right. There's no chance to sneakily pass the left. I also regret to say that I have more than once crashed into the emergency stopping area under the motto, I thought I could do it. After each race, there's a super cool video of shady guys in cars handing something over. Then you get presented with the times. After that, you get an overview of how much money and respect you will have won or lost. And your night work. Night work works like this. Win a race, earn a percentage. Win the next race, you get a bit more money. If you lose that race, you lose all your night work. And the wager, of course. I don't think race rep has any effect on the game. What's funny is that the Tatsumi PA crew strength calculation is completely absurd. If you win, the multiplier decreases your rep earnings. But if you lose, it increases your rep earnings, but sometimes it still decreases it. After the race, you enter free roam, where you have to restart your car every time. You also get calls from your opponent, either to taunt you or to make some excuse as to why they lost. Every now and then, they also offer a double or nothing deal, which means you race against the same person in and at random race. Furthermore, any under the table deals you have made will now also be paid out. End of the night. First you will get your total results, where you can see how much money and rep you have earned or lost, and how many races you won or lost, and you get an overall rating. After that is cleared, all the earnings go to you. After my first hour, I honestly thought this game would be way too grindy. You just get a text. Unbelievably, you cleared it. That's all. But at this point, the game gets more fun, as you get way more money and thus get to upgrade way faster and also experiment with buying other cars. I have a small list of cons. The walking speed in the first person mode is so fucking slow. The minimap constantly needs to be turned on. The main menu map is bad. You can only press left or right on the D-pad to search for something. The order makes no sense. It is not possible to scroll with the mouse. The button response. During racing I had no trouble with it, but in all other instances, whenever I pressed a button, it took a solid second for something to actually happen. Both with the mouse and controller, I was in a constant fight with the camera angle. And if you move too much, it will reset. In other words, it will slowly turn back to the default stance. During a race, it's not beneficial to be either fighting with the viewpoint or not being in control of the viewpoint. Sometimes the respawn puts you in the opposite direction of the finish, so not only do you crash, you will first have to wait a second for the game to respawn you, and then having to slowly turn to the right direction. The waiting times. There are way too many of them. Neutral. New music will only start playing at 130 km an hour, and it gets more intense the faster you go. Crashing it will subdue it. I must say, I really like the selection. The soundtrack just works. I like the music, but I dislike how it completely fades when you stand still. I would like to have it play on at least a low volume. One car in either manual or automatic. But for a demo, that's not just alright, but completely understandable. And there's also a lot of customization options. There's also fast travel options. It starts with low fees, like 5500 yen, and the more often I used it, the more expensive the service got. The pros. The upgrades have pros and cons. Upgrading one thing will make something else weaker, and you will have to do some min-maxing to build a car that will consistently win races. Also, it feels like a Need for Speed Most Wanted 2005 spiritual son. And because of that, I have high hopes and I'm pretty hyped for its full release.